What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. It is the 8th day of December, and here we are at about $3,100 with 6 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it, my friends. We're going to start off talking about the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there, okay? Looking at the 1 hour time frame, I don't know why, but the whole market, basically, saw very high levels of volume to start out this business day, right, when the stock market opened. We saw very high levels of volume moving down, but you didn't really move down too much, which is kind of interesting. I don't know what the reason for that is. Maybe there's a bunch of leveraged positions, maybe a huge exchange, maybe somebody was trying to push the price down, but somebody else kept the price up. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but we did see an effort to push the price lower, and that effort seems to have been stopped. I do think that Ethereum and the rest of the market from here should continue. By the time you watch this video, Ethereum should be at higher prices. The rest of the market should be at higher prices too. We look at the RSI, you've rejected, you had a double top at the overbought zone, and that's no good, but you are finding support at the exact same area that you did before. Overall, this RSI on the 1 hour time frame does look productive, and I would say the price action does too. I would assume we move higher. The stochastics have reset, you're bouncing off the oversold zone, and the MACD has crossed above the zero. Yes, we've crossed red, but that's okay. We crossed red here, and that was at the low. We're probably at the low here. 4 hour time frame right here, looking at the RSI, we are in a bullish posturing as well. Why? Because we got overbought and we did not get oversold. We bounced off the 40 and we are living above the 50 now. So that's good to see. This makes me think that the next drive should take us into our overbought zone. We should be moving higher in a very short amount of time. Stochastics are overbought, which is bullish, and the MACD is bouncing right off the zero, man. This is powerful. Understand, this is powerful stuff, and we're looking to build some bullish momentum. At the moment, we're on the fringe. We're right here where this MACD histogram is light green, and then it'll turn to dark green here. I'm sure if we watch it long enough, it will. Let's just see. 3120. It was literally just dark green, and then it just turned light green. So I mean, with very insignificant movements. Let's just see here. I mean, maybe if we like pump $5 from here, not even a pump, just a little blink to the upside, that would start to build bullish momentum. We want to see this momentum build. We want to get some dark green histogram in here, because if we're building momentum, these oscillators get taken away from the zero. The oscillators, these lines here, they get taken away from this zero level, and that really does seem to validate that we are finding support here. That would likely generate stronger readings than what we saw before, which should also produce stronger results as well. Somewhat of a upward sloping move that is reminiscent of this, but maybe a little bit better, right? Something that, in that kind of sense, these moves, let's just see if we took this same move here and we put it, let's just say, at this low point here. Maybe not at the absolute lows, but just at this low point here. Okay, let's put it at the absolute lows. We'll be conservative, whatever. That's $3,400. If we put it at the closing lows like I wanted to, that's a $3,600, $3,500 price. And likely, the implication here from the MACD and even the RSI would be that we see something that is bigger than this. So we probably go, anywhere from $3,500 to $3,800 on this next move. That'd be my assumption. We take this, we look at this from the highs back in October to the lows here. Was that the highs? I don't think that was the highs. No, let's go back to the highs in August. There we go. Highs in August to the lows that we just had here. I mean, this area that we're pointing to, it's either the 0.5 or the golden ratio. Right. Typically, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, typically you don't stop in between the 0.5 and the golden ratio like this. Like, you wouldn't see a move like this. You would either stop maybe just above the 0.5 like this, or right at the golden ratio zone. You wouldn't really stop somewhere in between. So with that being said, there is a very solid amount of prior support and therefore resistance here on the in-between. Although it's not common, it might be totally appropriate to call for anything between $3,600 to $4,000. What I mean by it's common enough from here to go to the 0.5 and then consolidate, reject, and then continue to build. It's common enough to go from here to the golden ratio and then consolidate, reject, and then rebuild. It's not so common to stop on the in-between, but because of the price significance that we have back here, and just because of kind of how far detached this high is from this low, it's all part of the same move, but I feel like this move didn't really kick off until this high. All I'm trying to say is I wouldn't be surprised if we did see some kind of odd result and we stopped in between the golden ratio. But something between, and I think it's really appropriate to identify it as a range, something between 3,600 to 4,100, let's just say, is the next destination. And being on the 4 hour time frame with the implications that we're seeing on the charts and the fact that we are in a downtrend, kind of looking like we want to push that barrier and break out, and we likely take out this high, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a rapid recovery here. Something that was faster than this, better than this, right? Something that over the coming days, perhaps by the end of this week, we could be, and what the end of this week is, what, the 13th? The 14th? The 13th is a Saturday, the 14th is a Sunday. So before the 14th, I think we should be above $3,600. And that's great for Ethereum. But what does that mean for altcoins? That's really good for altcoins, right? Or we would hope it is. I like the 4-hour time frame. It gives me good feelings, man. It gives me really good feelings. Can we find a situation where we saw something like this? Maybe over here. Very similar. Just the same kind of context, right? You broke out, you kind of found support at the zero. You just really consolidated, but it's the same kind of result, more or less. And then you moved up afterwards. The oscillators went above where they were before. The move afterwards was stronger than the move that brought you into that. Does that make sense? It's the same kind of thing that we're forecasting here. The move taking us out of here will be stronger than this move, and that should land us between $3,600 and $4,100. Probably under $4,000 if I had to guess, but above $3,600. We have another example of something like this. Kind of here, I mean, you're bouncing off the zero, but it's not the same because here you're coming from the up and down, where here we're coming from the down and up. We're working our way up, right? I mean, yes, we're coming from this upside coming down, but we're working our way from the below to the up. Does that make sense? I'm not using proper English, but I do mean what I say. Same kind of concept here. Whenever you're bouncing off these zeros on the 4-hour, it wasn't immediate. It wasn't immediate here, but soon enough, you had a very voluptuous move. I don't know. If it's not by the end of this week, then certainly sometime over the next couple of weeks, we should see a $3,600 to $4,000 price, $4,100 price. And then from there, we'll consolidate, rebuild, and continue to build higher. I think as the weeks and the months go on, sometime in Q1, we should be at new all-time highs with Ethereum. Maybe in January, maybe it's February, but our next target area, whenever we do talk about new all-time highs, is about $8,000. If not $8,000, then $10,000. Somewhere around $7,700, $7,800, and $10,000 is the expectation for this next move, and we should see that result come to full maturity in Q1, if not maybe early Q2 at the latest. I don't think that we're just going to move up from here. By the end of the year, Ethereum will be at new all-time highs. I think we can work our way up. We can certainly be above $4,000 by the end of the year. But at new all-time highs, that's probably reserved for January or February even. It's not just something that we come down and then just as easy we come up. I know everybody wants to see that. That's kind of what happened here. But even in the midst of this, we still consolidated for a month and a half before taking out that high, right? Like you consolidated here from April 28th. You didn't break out until July 7th, until that week. You consolidated for like a month and a half. Oh no, sorry, that's like 2.5 months. 2.5 months. In the process of this very straight move up, we might look back when we're up here and be like, man, it was such a straight move up. But there will be a moment here, probably around $4,000 or $4,800, somewhere in here, where we consolidate for a month or two. Or here, where we consolidate for a month or two, somewhere in this area, and then we continue to build. So when I tell you that it could be February that we see new all-time highs, don't get discouraged by that. Take that as the opportunity to accumulate more Ethereum and other cryptos because we likely do have some time before we break out to new all-time highs. But they're coming. They're coming. I do suspect in Q1, probably late Q1, we will be up at $7,800 to $10,000, if not early Q2. Okay. I don't have anything else that I want to say. We're at fantastic prices to buy Ethereum. We're at $3,100 now. Can we go lower? Sure. Are we absolved of going lower? No. Could we go below $3,000 again? It's very possible. But I don't think we go below $3,000 again. I really do think that the next move is generated to the upside, and we probably do cross that threshold of $3,600 and above, either by the 14th or within the next 2 weeks. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.